We have now reached chapter 10 of the book of Daniel. This chapter is a little shorter, and so the lecture will be a little briefer than some of the others. Let's read the first three verses. In the third year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a message was revealed to Daniel, who was named Belteshazzar. And the message was true and one of great conflict. But he understood the message and had an understanding of the vision. In those days, I, Daniel, had been mourning for 3 entire weeks. I did not eat any tasty food, nor eat meat or wine enter my mouth, nor did I use any anointment at all until the entire 3 weeks were completed. Look at the bullet. The final vision given to Daniel came in the third year of the reign of Cyrus, 536 BC. Exiles had returned from Babylon and had begun rebuilding the temple already. So we know about 50,000 went back to the promised land and did that. Israel's captivity had ended. The 70 years had been completed that Daniel had read about in Jeremiah's prophecy. The revelation and the vision given to Daniel on this occasion shattered any hope the prophet might have had that Israel would enjoy her new freedom and peace for long. God revealed that the nation would be involved in many conflicts, that is, a great war. Understanding the significance of the vision, Daniel fasted for 3 weeks. During this time of mourning, he abstained from choice foods and apparently waited on God in prayer concerning his people's ultimate destiny. So now we see in verses 4 through 9, as we continue the account from Daniel, he tells us, on the 24th day of the first month, while I was by the bank of the great river, that is the Tigris River, I lifted my eyes and looked, and behold, there was a certain man dressed in linen, whose waist was girded with a belt of pure gold of Uphaz. His body was also like beryl. His face had the appearance of lightning. His eyes were like flaming torches. His arms and feet like the gleam of polished bronze, and the sound of his words like the sound of a tumult. Now I, Daniel, alone saw the vision, while the men who were with me did not see the vision. Nevertheless, a great dread fell on them, and they ran away to hide themselves. So I was left alone and saw this great vision, yet no strength was left in me, for my natural color turned to a deathly pallor, and I retained no strength. But I heard the sound of his words, and as soon as I heard the sound of his words, I fell into a deep sleep on my face, with my face to the ground. Let's look at the bullet. After 3 weeks, Daniel was bodily on the banks of the Tigris River when he saw a certain man dressed in linen. This probably was a theophany, that is, a manifestation of the pre-incarnate Christ before he was born and had an earthly body. The description in Daniel 10, verses 5 through 6, accords with the one of Christ in Revelation chapter 1, verses 14 and 15. And Daniel 12:6, an angel asked the same man dressed in linen how long, until he predicted the end. This vision of the theophany caused Daniel to lose his strength and fall into a deep sleep. Verse 10 through 13, let's continue to see what Daniel has recorded for us about this experience. Then Daniel says, behold, a hand touched me and set me trembling on my hands and my knees. He said to me, O Daniel, man of high esteem, understand the words that I am about to tell you, and stand upright, for I have now been sent to you. And when he had spoken this word to me, I stood up trembling. Then he said to me, do not be afraid, Daniel. For from the first day that you set your heart on understanding this, and on humbling yourself before your God, your words were heard. And I have come in response to your words, but the prince of the kingdom of Persia was withstanding me for 21 days. Then, behold, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, for I had been left there with the kings of Persia. That's interesting. The messenger in these verses is probably Gabriel, as he is the angel that makes announcements to Israel. We saw that back in chapter 8. The one here cannot be Christ, as he would not need angelic assistance. Moreover, it was Gabriel who called Daniel man of high esteem, back in chapter 9. And also here in 10 verse 11. Gabriel explained the reason for his delay in delivering God's answer. He was hindered 21 days by the prince of the kingdom of Persia until Michael assisted him. This prince was a supernatural wicked angel who was the representative of Satan in the affairs of Persia. And as we continue, the account as recorded that Daniel experienced, we see in verse 14, Daniel says, now this is actually Gabriel, we think, speaking to Daniel. Now I have come to give you an understanding what will happen to your people in the latter days, for the vision pertains to the days yet future. When he had spoken to me according to these words, I turned my face toward the ground and became speechless. And behold, one who resembled a human being was touching my lips. Then I opened my mouth and spoke and said to him who was standing before me, O my Lord, as a result of the vision, anguish has come upon me, and I have retained no strength. For how can such a servant of my Lord talk with such as my Lord? As for me, there remains just now no strength in me, nor has any breath been left in me. Then this one with human appearance touched me again and strengthened me. He said, O man of high esteem, do not be afraid. Peace be with you. Take courage and be courageous. Now, as soon as he spoke to me, I received strength and said, May my Lord speak, for you have strengthened me. Look at the bullet. Gabriel comes to reveal to Daniel the future of the nation of Israel, that is, your people from Daniel's day until the millennial kingdom of the Messiah. Daniel was speechless in learning of the angelic demonic conflict that delayed the answer to his prayer. Moreover, he was overcome with anguish at the content of the vision of Israel's coming sufferings. He was totally debilitated and gasping for breath. Then an angelic being touched Daniel and strengthened him. And here we see Gabriel reveals God's plan to Daniel. Look at verse 20. Then Gabriel says to Daniel, do you understand why I came to you? But I shall now return to fight against the prince of Persia. So I am going forth, and behold, the prince of Greece is about to come. However, I will tell you what is inscribed in the writings of truth. Yet there is no one who stands firmly with me against these forces, except Michael, your prince, the prince of the angel that's really guarding the nation of Israel, the Jewish people. Gabriel then stated, get the bullets, that he was about to return to fight against the prince of Persia. He's talking about demonic realm. And that also the prince of Greece would come. This evil angel would come later with the empire of Greece when the empire of Greece rose to power, indicating the angelic conflict would continue into the time of the Greek Empire. These princes, as stated earlier, were demons, Satan's representatives, assigned to nations to oppose godly forces. Thus, the statement of conflict during the Greek period is noted because it is preparatory to the revelation presented in chapter 11. Gabriel told Daniel the purpose of his visit in verse 21, answering the question, do you understand why I came to you? Gabriel came to tell Daniel what is inscribed in the book of truth. The book of truth, figuratively, is referring to God's plan for Israel and the entire world. Before sharing the message, Gabriel shared that no one except Michael supported Gabriel in his spiritual warfare. Not because no one was available, but because no one else was needed. And so that is the end of this lecture. And I can't wait till we get to our next one in chapter 11.